Arsenal have just absolutely battered Dinamo Zagreb for the best part of 90 minutes. Arsenal now guarantee their spots into the top 8 of the Champions League, a side which, I'll be honest, I've criticised heavily for their attacking intent, for their options, but players are starting to step up. Martin Ødegaard, again, a decent, really, really good performance from him. Kai Havertz, another goal. Martinelli stepping up with the attacking load. And, of course, Declan Rice with a disgusting finish. On the same night, Manchester City humiliated in Paris. That match reaction will be out straight after this. Make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button. 92% of you that watch the content and are not subscribed, so go down and hit that subscribe button. Uploads back to normal. Been a bit crazy last couple of days. As you can see, a different background. Hopefully that'll improve in the next couple of days if the tech turns up. But Arsenal 3, Dinamo Zagreb 0. And let's be honest, it should have been more. Arsenal should have had the ball in the back of the net at least one more, maybe two more times. A night in which they, I would say, this midfield of Declan Rice, Ødegaard and Jorginho, they can use that midfield in a certain type of game. When they're up against weaker opposition and you're expecting a low block, having control is in. That's what I think Liaz actually was talking about it the other day, talking about how Ødegaard might not be as creative as a Bruno, as a Trent, as a De Bruyne, but he controls everything that Arsenal do. Everything goes through him. He may not play that killer pass, but when he's on it and he's fit and he's healthy, he's one hell of a player. I thought he was man of the match tonight. I thought everything went for him. And, of course, he got his goal at the end. Declan Rice, really, really good. A centre-back pairing that's not too familiar, playing with each other. Not like that pause, but playing alongside of each other. Kivior and Gabriel. A back line of Timber, Zinchenko. Now, it's a weird one because Florian Plettenberg has practically said that Zinchenko is very, very close to joining Borussia Dortmund. And Fabrizio Romano has also said that Kieran Tierney is very close to joining Celtic, yet they're still being used by Arsenal. Now, no issue at all if Arteta wants to use players. They're still at his disposal. But it almost kind of makes you believe what are they actually going to join Celtic and Dortmund? But in terms of the back four, Timber, really good again tonight. Kivior stepped up. Gabriel may have picked up a knock and played through it. He did look like he was holding his knee. David Raya didn't have to make a save, really, if we're being brutally honest. I don't even recall Zagreb having a shot on target. Sterling looked better tonight. I've criticised him heavily in the last couple of games for, just slowing things down a little bit. But tonight, he stepped up. And when you look at Zagreb's team, the only player that I've actually heard of is that Batrunia, who I've read a couple of reports on him. He's meant to be a decent player. But other than that, Arsenal did their job, did it really well tonight. And when you talk about, people say about, I've mentioned it hundreds of times on this channel now. First 15 minutes of the first half and first 15 minutes of the second half are so, so important. And Arsenal got off to a perfect start. You couldn't have really asked for a better start from your side, really. If you're an Arsenal fan, you must have been over the moon with that. Ball goes into the box. I think it was Martinelli. Gets room down that left-hand side, puts a good ball in. The touch from Kai Havertz to lay it off into Declan Rice's path is exquisite. I thought he'd actually take a shot, but it's the football IQ to be able to kind of slow things down in tight spaces, look at your options, lay it off to Declan Rice, and it's a fantastic finish. And the ball goes into the back of the net. And I feel like Declan Rice deserved that. He needed that sort of goal. He's put in some decent performances this season, but things haven't really gone his way. You think back to the red card at Brighton. You think back to just being a bit lackluster. He's been criticised by Arsenal fans this season, and he got his goal, and fair play, because I thought he played really well tonight. Same as Ødegaard. I think he's only got 2 goals in something like 20-odd games this season. And And, they go 1-0 up in like 2 minutes, if that. And then it was just basically one-way traffic from there. I didn't ever really feel that Zagreb, I know they've got a fantastic away fans. They travel really well. Couple of big scary cats in that crowd, couple of big units. Their manager as well, familiar face, Fabio Cannavaro, one of the best defenders to have ever played the game. Ballon d'Or winner, World Cup winner. Looks like he's had a trip to Turkey or two with that hair transplant. But he couldn't really get a tune out of them. And to be fair, the XG was something stupid like 1.18 to like 0.02 or so, or 0.05, whatever it was. But Arteta made a good couple of changes. He brought on Thomas Partey for Timber and he brought on Nwaneri for Sterling just to kind of freshen that up around the 55th hour mark. Shortly after that, a ridiculous ball again from Martinelli. Martinelli's delivery was absolute joke of a ball. And then Kai Havertz, who got a goal, got the assist for the first goal, nods it into the back of the net. And I feel like a lot of these Arsenal players right now are what I would call confidence players. They're very much need to be right now. If they're not performing at a stupidly high level, it's kind of like their confidence just drops. And that may be a mentality issue in the dressing room. But when they have got confidence, you can see tonight they can score goals. Another clean sheet at the Emirates, 3 goals scored. The last goal comes from Martin Ødegaard. Trossard gets down that left-hand side, puts it into the back of the net, puts it on the plate for Ødegaard, who puts it into the back of the net. And when you think about as well, when you think about Nwaneri come on back in the team from his injury, he looks a really, really good player, that Nwaneri. I will say that. He looks like he's got a lot of tech. And when you look at Arsenal, considering, Standard FC right now are saying, this and that, they've qualified for the next round of the Champions League, losing 1 game to Inter Milan, which, let's be honest, in the Premier League, that wouldn't be a penalty, but it is what it is in the Champions League. They may have got a draw, so they could have played 7, won 5, drawn 2, lost 0. They only conceded 2, which is the joint second best defensive record in the Champions League alongside Liverpool. Liverpool's goal difference is a little bit better. Their points tally is a little bit better. Goals very even. Look at Barcelona. 26 goals in 7 games, by the way, is ridiculous. That is fucking insane. Atalanta as well, 18 in 7. So, in terms of when you look at where Manchester City, Villa are down in 9th, Manchester City are 25th. Yeah. If they draw to Club Brugge, they're out. Like, they're actually out. Because 9th right now would play Stuttgart, I believe. And then I think it's Monaco would then play Sporting, and PSG would then play Feyenoord, etc., etc., etc. I think that's the way it wins. But the Champions League right now is a different beast. You could be 9th in a really good position and then draw Real Madrid. That's what we're talking about right now. Real Madrid, of course, won tonight. I'm still not writing them off to win the competition. But, Arsenal, they've still got to bring a forward in my opinion. They've got a big game on Saturday against Wolves, in which will be a massive game because it's where I think, this is my prediction, I think Cunha will be out of the squad for this game. And I think Arsenal will sign him at some point next week, or Forest. He definitely is going to be leaving Wolves, in my opinion. Then they've got Girona away in the Champions League the week after. And then February is guns blazing. City, Newcastle, Leicester away, West Ham at home. Forest is a huge game. Why is there a break between? Is that the winter break or is that the FA Cup? Because there's a long gap between Forest and Man United. Interesting. But look, it's 3 points. It's 3 goals. It's a clean sheet. I think that's something like 15 games or 1 defeat in 15 games. And I think that was to Newcastle or something like that I read earlier. 3 goals at home against Monaco in the Champions League. They've actually been really good at home. It's their away form where it has kind of slipped, drawing to Atalanta, and losing to Inter Milan. But they've beaten Shakhtar at home, keeping a clean sheet. They've beat Monaco at home, keeping a clean sheet. They've spanked Sporting away 5-1. So there is goals in this Arsenal team, but I just genuinely think they need maybe one more player. Cunha, I would, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be strongly demanding 2 forwards at least. I look at it right now and just think where Arsenal want to be, to get where they want to be, they have to bring in signings. It's as simple as that. No if, buts, or maybes. They have to bring in signings. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like I said, go down, drop a like on the video. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all soon. Thank you for watching. I am out.